Belt-driven bikes are a relatively new phenomenon, but at Estarli we think they have a huge future. And one of the major advantages of belt-driven models is, as we've said on a couple of occasions really, you don't have the oily, greasy chain. So there's nothing to clean, there's nothing to degrease, and there's nothing to replace, because belt-driven drivetrains, the belt lasts quite a bit longer than your typical chain. So really, it just means that there's that element of faff and maintenance they just don't need to bother with.
However, because people are a little bit more used to a typical geared setup, they can be curious, maybe even a little bit skeptical about how a belt-driven bike can handle the hills. So let's take a little spin and see for ourselves.
So we're on Bridgewater Road right now, which is one of the main roads to the station in Berkhamsted. It's one of the most popular routes for cycling commuters to take as they head into London, either on their folder going straight into town or parking their bike at the station. I'm going to show you how easy I can make life for myself using the different levels, and you can see how the gearbox shifts. So freewheeling at the moment, just slowing down, coming up to this rise, going to start pedaling. We're off still, so we move into the level 1. At the moment, you know, I'm working relatively hard to keep it going. Then shifting up to 2, and suddenly the motor really kind of kicks in. 3, 4, and then number 5. And I'm just turning over the legs basically. And that's all because I've got the Estarli Cycle Systems 2-speed, 250 watt, 45 Newton meter hub motor helping me out. 2-speed might not sound like a lot to those of us who are used to having sort of 9+ gears to play with, but it really disguises the intelligence of the drivetrain. So in the bottom bracket here, there is a torque sensor which will measure your power and your leg speed at about 1,000 times per second. And basically it works quite a lot like an automatic gearbox in a car. As you press down on the accelerator, increase the revs, the gearbox will kind of shift on its own according to the amount of revolutions going through it. And so basically, you don't really need to think about anything. You just pedal and the gearbox, the drivetrain will do the rest. Now we've done steady. So let's now try steep, shall we? Coming up here on the right hand side is a road called Bridleway, which we're going to turn onto. Average gradient of over 8.5%, maximum gradient of over 13. So this is definitely not a hill for the faint-hearted. This is often where we send people when they're doing test rides so that they can properly kind of put their bikes through the paces. And as you can see, I'm in level 5 at the moment, so the highest level, but I'm still able to talk pretty happily, and it's all pretty cruisy.
Hopefully that clears things up then when it comes to the hills and 28.X. On top of that, of course, if you consider the fact that there's no oily mess, no need to clean the drive chain, the belt lasts a hell of a lot longer than normal chain, suddenly the argument for belt-driven bikes becoming a really important part of the future of e-bikes generally, suddenly that argument becomes a lot more convincing.